And then are these stocks that are acting well, do they live in a similar group?
Right.
Right? Cybersecurity, for instance, has been one of those standout groups. You know, your Rubrics and your CrowdStrike and your Zscaler
Yep.
and your Net. Okta was really nice until earnings. And so you started to have multiple stocks, right? Birds of a feather flock together that are acting well. And those are ones to pay attention to.
Yeah, and another theme, MSTR, I don't even think undercut that low, that relative low. So yeah, that's a key thing I'm watching too.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
here's March's lows.
Yep.
Didn't even get there. In fact, it tried to undercut the 200 and immediately reclaimed it. I believe this 4.9 was that Wednesday,
Yep.
where just the market was having an insane day. And then I told myself, stocks that start to push out over Wednesday's high first, right? Because that was such a big up day. You
Yep.
kind of just knew in the back of mind you were going to get some rest right after that day. You knew that up day was so awesome, right? It like felt like maybe a follow through day, but you know, sometimes the biggest up moves occur in downtrends, right? Everybody knows that. And even at that time, everybody's like, oh yeah, we're just going to get a little retrace and then roll back over. Um, but I started thinking any stocks that start to take out that Wednesday's highs look good. And again, Netflix was one of those names that just started to act well, even right from there. I think it was like $951 or something like that, where it took that level out and you're off to the races.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, walk us through your thought process in terms of finding an entry. You know, say we've got an extension down like we did, and then things pop higher. What are, you know, you've mentioned the higher low setup. You know, what are the first actionable spots that you look for in a name that catches your eye as a potential leader that's holding up well, holding above the moving averages, you know, breaking above key highs before everything else? What's kind of your playbook for trading a stock up the right hand side of a base?
Yeah, so the first setups that I really like to trade that kind of come to mind and they're going to show up in weakness is those undercut and rallies where it tries to undercut that, you know, that weekly
Yep.
bottom or a daily bottom, kind of comes right back into that level, similar to what we see here in MSTR or the
Yep.
CrowdStrike, which we mentioned. That's the first setup that I look for. Then if it's a valid undercut rally and maybe you just missed it, then we're looking for a push and then because that will kind of confirm that maybe there's some accumulation, you know, and then if there's a few other stocks within that group that are acting well, like a Rubric, you know, Zscaler,
Yep.
then all of a sudden you're now seeing that there's some participation in that group, and then now we're looking for some kind of digestion and a higher low setup. So a higher low setup is something that's, you know, exactly what it sounds like. So if you have your low in a CrowdStrike, now all of a sudden you get that pullback again, and then you've got a higher low, except this time it's occurring on a flattening or an ascending moving average, right? And then the very, you know, 2 days later, right, you get this, we talked about this little horizontal base,
Yep.
and then just over